So I usually experience plantar fasciitis mostly when I am running, but I try my best to keep it in check because it is very uncomfortable and it will completely take you out of the sport if you don't manage it very carefully. So there was one time that the plantar fasciitis was very painful. I remember posting on my Strava that I wanted to cut my foot off as a joke, but it hurt so much. And I just remember feeling so frustrated, and really it was just bothering me when I was running. But I remember after that time, it became harder to walk after too. So that was kind of my hint that I needed to really take it seriously. And I don't think I ran for a couple of weeks after that to make sure it was really gone before I gave it a test even. After it was really uncomfortable and the plantar fasciitis kind of took me out of my training, I spent a lot of time with the rice method, which is the keep it raised and ice it and rest. But also the hydrogun was very helpful. I'd pull that hydrogun out, and that was one of the times when I would do it first thing in the morning, a couple times during the day if I was home, and then it's always the last thing I do before I go to bed. I can switch out the heads and I can really target the spot that's really bothering me. I just have a more controlled recovery. Unlike my small foot. I would say it took me 3 to 5 days before to recover, but now I can run the next day. If I can feel a flare up coming and I'm really careful about it and I take care of it with the hydrogun, within the next 24 hours, it's usually fine. So my plantar fasciitis started last spring. It was just when I started kicking up my training. I went from not running really at all to about 3 days a week. It was in preparation for this 10K race that I was doing. It was a trail race. I was running with my new shoes coming down in the race, and I hit a rock really hard, I think. And I thought I had bruised my foot at first, but it was the arch was bothering me. It wouldn't go away. I kept trying to run, and I eventually had to stop running because I didn't know what the problem was. So I went to see a physical therapist, and they told me it was plantar fasciitis. It was because I had increased my weekly mileage too fast. I was going a little too hard, and I wasn't doing anything to recover my feet from it. So I started rolling with a lacrosse ball, and that kind of got it, together a little bit. But the more running I did, the harder it got to keep finding my lacrosse ball every time and pulling it out and rolling that. And so eventually it just made more sense to invest in the hydrogun. And that's what I use now on my feet, and it's the best. So usually I'll use the hydrogun on it. I don't like to use it more than 2 minutes at a time, but I'll use it a few times throughout the day if it's still bothering me. Sometimes I put ice on it. I haven't found that to be nearly as helpful. And I can really target, because it's in that arch that it really gets to me. So I can switch it to that bullet one, which is it hurts so good, I really don't want to do it, but I know that's what I have to do.